The NFL has taken the next step in its journey as a sports league by dipping its feet into international grounds. However, this isn't the first time that NFL teams have competed in fields outside of the United States. So, how did the NFL pull off the first international regular season game? Stay tuned as we look at the NFL on foreign fields and talk about the absolute best NFL free agents in the 2023 offseason. First up, the international kickoff. Long before the NFL played regular season games outside of the United States, it played a game called the American Bowl in another country. From 1986 to 2005, the league played 40 preseason games under the name American Bowl. These games took place all over the world, from Montreal and Mexico City to Tokyo and London. Even though those games didn't count in the standings, they were very important to a league that was trying to reach more people around the world. After all that experimentation, the NFL decided in 2005 to stop dipping its toes in the water and instead dive headfirst into international games. And thus, the Arizona Cardinals played the San Francisco 49ers in Mexico City. This was the first NFL regular season game to take place outside of the United States. On October 2, 2005, at Estadio Azteca, the Cardinals beat the Niners 31-14, making history for the NFL. With 103,467 fans present, it set a record for the most people who came to a regular season game. This record stood for almost 4 years. The game itself wasn't very interesting because of what happened on the field, but it was still very important for the league because of what it meant. For proof, look at Monday night's game between the Cardinals and 49ers, which will be played at the same place where the two opened the regular season international door more than 17 years ago. The NFL's first regular season trip outside of the United States was not without problems, some of which were predictable and some not so much. But one thing's for sure, the NFL took a great leap that day. Next up, the NFL International Series. 2 years after the success of what was dubbed NFL Football Americano, the NFL launched the International Series in 2007. The New York Giants took on the Miami Dolphins at Wembley Stadium in London, where the Giants won 13-10, giving them their third Super Bowl title as a team. From 2007 to 2012, one NFL regular season game was played at Wembley Stadium each year. The Jacksonville Jaguars agreed in 2012 to play one of the home games at Wembley Stadium every year from 2013 to 2016, which they later extended till 2020. In 2013 and 2014, the NFL held 3 International Series games at Wembley Stadium. In 2016, the league went back to the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, which made the International Series even bigger. During that season, the first of 3 games took place at London's Twickenham Stadium. As part of a deal with the NFL, the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Bears played their first game at the brand new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London in 2019. The stadium will host 2 NFL games each season for the next 10 years. The International Series was put on hold due to the global COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, but it started up again in 2021. As the 2021 season, the NFL has played 30 regular season games in London and 4 in Mexico City. Starting in 2022, the NFL is planning to play at least 4 International Series games. Moving on from the games and on to the players, many will be available for free agency in the 2023 offseason. So we rank some of the best free agents, mixed with some re-signing predictions. Starting off with number 7, Tom Brady. How much Brady is worth on the market depends on his age and what his plans are for the future. But even though Brady is 45 years old, he currently has the second most passing yards in the NFL with 2,805. This season, he hasn't scored as many touchdowns, but the story of Brady's rapid decline doesn't match up with what we see on tape. He is still a master of pre-snap and post-snap field vision, with refined pocket movement and an extremely quick release that allows him to attack all 3 levels of the field. With a career like this, will the Bucs feel obliged to re-sign him? No one is still arguing that Brady plays like the GOAT, especially since he will be 46 years old when the 2023 season starts. Tannenbaum thinks he'll stop playing after this season altogether, which could make things hard for Tampa Bay. Next up at number 6, Roquan Smith. Smith was traded to Baltimore at the deadline and is a good run defender who can make a lot of tackles. This season, he already has 88, and he has had at least 100 in every season of his career. Smith can play all 3 downs because he can match up in coverage and drive on the ball with his speed in short areas. He can also be used as a blitzer in pressure stunts. The 2018 first-round pick has 16.5 sacks and 7 interceptions, which shows that he can make big plays as a linebacker off the ball. So the question is, will the Ravens keep him. The Ravens gave Chicago a lot of picks to get Smith, so they will definitely try to keep him. But if they choose to use the franchise tag on Lamar Jackson, Smith can't do that. Moving on to number 5, Marcus Davenport. We're betting on the numbers from 2021, 9 sacks and 3 forced fumbles, and also on his physical profile as a strong defensive end in both the base and sub fronts. Davenport is 6 foot 6 inches tall, weighing 262 pounds, and the skills to make a difference in the pass rush. He only has a half sack so far this season, but his 20 pressures show that he can disrupt the pocket. Is it enough for the Saints to re-sign him, though? We're not sure if the Saints, who have a tight salary cap, should spend a lot of money to keep Davenport. Aside from a good year in 2021, the 14th overall pick in the 2018 draft has been a bit of a letdown over the past 5 years. If Peyton Turner, a first-round pick in 2021, keeps getting better, New Orleans could look to him to replace him. Coming at number 4, Saquon Barkley. Barkley is considered one of the top 3 running backs. He's back to being quick and explosive after injuries kept him from playing in more than 15 games over the past 2 seasons. The Giants player is a game changer who can make big plays both while running and while passing. This season, Barkley has run the ball 23 times for average of at least 10 yards. He is already close to running for 1,000 yards by the time the Giants reach the middle of the season. Now that's impressive. But are the Giants impressed by it? We believe they are, and New York should do everything possible to keep him. Simply put, he's a fast, high-character player who makes a big difference and is a big reason why the Giants are off to a 7-2 start. Next up at number 3, Elgton Jenkins. Jenkins' injury history is a big part of the discussion since he was only able to play in 8 games last year. When he's healthy, though, he's a quick-footed blocker who can move from side to side and change direction in space. Jenkins is also very versatile on the offensive line. He has played more than 850 snaps at both tackle and guard throughout his career. In 2020, he also lined up at the center 287 times. As a strong anchor in pass protection, he has a pass block win rate of 85.0% this season, which is a bit lower than his stellar career rate of 93.2%. That begs the question, do the Packers still want him? This one is hard to answer. Jenkins is a great player, no doubt, but because of his injuries, it's concerning to sign him. He might be able to leave Green Bay if he's a free agent. Number 2 is Orlando Brown Jr. Brown is a big player in the run game, and he can use his size to make up for his average foot and body speed in pass protection. The 6'8", 340-pound beast has blocked passes for Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City with a win rate of 89.6% this season. But will the Chiefs be willing to keep him? Since the Chiefs invested a lot of draft capital to get Brown from the Ravens, we expect them to give him a big contract. Even though Brown is probably not among the top 5 offensive tackles in the NFL, he's still useful where it counts. At number 1, Lamar Jackson. Jackson is undoubtedly one of the most exciting players in the league. The Baltimore quarterback has got top-tier skills that make opposing defenses' jobs very hard. This season, he is 5th in total QBR, going up to 65.0 from 56.8 in 2021, and when he runs, he averages 7.4 yards per carry. Jackson is clearly the best free agent going into the 2023 offseason. He already has more than 2,000 total yards for the season and is good enough at his position to get a multi-year deal. With those stats, will Baltimore re-sign him? According to Mike Tannenbaum, Baltimore will do everything it can to keep him, even if that means using the franchise tag on Jackson, who will be starting his 6th season in 2023. Well, that's a wrap for this video, so what's your take on the NFL International Series and the free agents going into 2023? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.